Hey everyone, and welcome to another Nielsen Networking video. In this video I'm going to show you how to go out and download, install, and configure VirtualBox. And we're going to do it using the KISS rule, which is keep it simple stupid. So let's just get right to it. Open up any web browser you want, and we're going to go to virtualbox.org. I'll throw that URL in the description in case I move too quick here. And then you're going to want to hit the download VirtualBox button in the middle of the page. And then depending on what you're running, I'm running Windows, so I'm going to click Windows. If you're on Mac, you would click Mac, and obviously on Linux, you'd click Linux. We're going to let it download here. Won't take too long. Okay, it looks like it finished downloading. What you're going to want to do is go Show in Folder or browse to wherever you downloaded it. And then you need to make sure you right-click it and run as administrator. At first screen, you're just going to go ahead and hit Next. That's just welcome to VirtualBox, Oracle's virtualization platform. Hit Next. You can go ahead and leave these default, but you may want to change where you're actually installing the VirtualBox software, which is actually it's known as a hypervisor, type 2 hypervisor. But wherever you want that to live, you can later on pick your location for your virtual machines. Like if you were short on space later and you need to relocate the virtual machines, you could do that later. But for now, this is just where the Oracle virtual box software is going to be installed. So go ahead and hit Next. Warning, this is just warning you that you may have a little blip in your network connectivity while it installs the virtual network cards and switches and all that. No, nothing to worry. I've never even noticed it, but they call it out. The last one, and probably the most important, is if you happen to have either of these installed Python core or Win32 API, you'll want to make sure that when it goes out and downloads them, because that's what it's asking you. Is it okay to go ahead and download these for you? We're going to go ahead and do that. But if you already had them installed, it may overwrite them. And if you needed like a specific version, it could cause you to lose that compatibility with whatever was dependent on those versions of Python or Win32 API. So I just thought I'd call that out. That's really the only tricky part of this whole installation. So you're going to go ahead and hit yes here and then install. Get out of there, out of there. And as you can see, the installation is done. We're going to go ahead and finish. There's one thing I will show you as far as the networking. So we can go in here once this is set up. Before you set up any VMs, I would suggest you do this. Go to Network. And we're going to want to set up a NATed network. So we're going to go ahead and create New. And then you're going to click on it, go to Properties, and change this to something descriptive, or you could just leave it the default NAT network if you wanted. Subnet range here, you could change this if you wanted, but again, there's really no need to. I would keep DHCP enabled. Even if you wanted to assign your virtual machines when you get those set up, static IPs, you could still just assign those anything over pretty much 25, you should be safe to assign them, and it won't interfere with the DHCP, and it won't assign a duplicate IP. It pings before it assigns to make sure. So even if you set a static and it went to give another virtual machine, if you had come up a lease, it wouldn't. It would ping and say, no, that's in use, and give it another one. And in a lab network, chance of you having 255 IPs or 254, whatever it would be, very unlikely. So I would also, last warning, I wouldn't enable IPv6 unless you needed to, because that can cause some issues with loading VMs in VirtualBox. So go ahead and hit apply. And that is pretty much the whole configuration. At the next point, what you would want to do is go out and download your either your ISO to install your virtual machine or your pre-built virtual machine images. And I do have a lot of videos on that. So if you are curious what you could put on there, we have Windows, we have Kali Linux, we have Mint Linux, on and on and on. Just check out some of these other videos. All right, everyone, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, we would greatly appreciate if you could just smash that like button or subscribe to the channel for future videos we put out on all kinds of content. Okay? Thank you very much. Have a great day.